I'm here with Ryougi Shiki. He got top 8 with Jiren in the EU Nationals. Ryuji, would you like to show me through your deck?
Yeah, sure. Give a minute.
All right. So in your deck list, we have 4 copies of Android 16, 4 copies of Draw 118, 2 copies of the Vegeta that boosts itself up to 55k.
Yeah.
Uh, 2 copies of the instant damage Jiren, which is a game ender. 4 self awakening Gokus. 2 heat auras. 3 copies of the Goku SCR. 4 copies of 4-drop Jiren. 3 crit self awakener Cauliflas. The SCR Kefla. 3 copies of the Gohan. 2 more draw 1, so you have 6 draw 1s in total. We have 3 copies of Activate Main Whis, 4 copies of Self Awakening Hit, minus 5k, 3 copies of Fua, 2 God Kamehamehas, and then your super combo. So looking at your deck list, it seems as though you went very heavily on both a crit Self Awakening and then additionally minusing your opponent's board to make sure that you have total board control.
Yeah, but mainly versus Piccolo, I never self-awakened because I wanted to say I life versus that deck.
Okay, so even though you have, let's see, 4, 7, 11, 14 self awakeners, you choose not to self awaken on any of them.
Versus Piccolo, I prefer to not self-awaken. Maybe only in some cases where I stayed at 4 life, so I get a self awaken and then I can attack, draw, flip, draw again, only for this instant.
Okay, so
But usually I wanted to stay high life to versus Piccolo to cast the 6 cost Jiren safely.
okay, so this EU Nationals came after the ban list was active, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
So did you think that the ban list that went into effect that hit both Cell and all the blue decks helped Jiren to come out?
Yeah, a lot. Because I think Cell won also the event even after the bandits. So you can imagine how it was the matchup before the bandits.
Yeah, I did see that Cell did win the EU Nats. So talking about the EU Nats, let's go over every single one of your matchups.
Okay. First round, I got Naneku. I won because he didn't see any super spell, the one greeting, but he said that he didn't play that. So it was a free matchup for me because he didn't remove my four cost Jiren, so he can do nothing about that. The second matchup it was the an Omega Sharon. I won. I won, but it was very close matchup. I won at time. I had three pieces on board, so I won for that. But me, but if it not if it no sorry if it, for time I won only for time. That game probably I would have lost. And obviously the 6 cost secret it was the game changer against Omega. The third matchup, it was again another Omega, but it was way easier this game because the second round I saw only one 6 cost. In this game I saw the 3 copies, so it was a very free matchup in that game. The fourth round it was another Nameku. He saw the Chuka spell, but I won anyways. He did the Chuko spell, but I did again my second Jiren, so he didn't have the second copy of the spell, so I won again.
Okay.
Round five, it was a Piccolo, the first Piccolo I faced. Probably it was the best game I had in that day. I won thanks to the six cost Jiren. I get him to 2 life to one, and I attack with the six cost Jiren. He redirect the attack to his gun, but I was at 9 energy, so that's why I wanted to stay high life to also have more energy to the late game, and I did the free cost Vegeta to close the game because he was at 1 life. The round six was another Piccolo. Uh, I forgot to mention that I won the dice roll against the two Piccolos, so it was very fortunate because I think that's the worst matchup I could have faced. So the round six, I won. I won again versus Piccolo.
Mm-hmm.
At the six cost Jiren again. I brought him to 1 life. And then after one or two more turn, I close the game thanks to Ultra Instinct Goku to clear his board and clear all his Krillin, Hercule, other some one cost. Round seven, it was Goma. I lost against Goma, the first loss. I thought it was a very easy matchup, but I didn't have any test with Jiren in this matchup, and it was not a very easy matchup because he had Chinarinsu on board for like 3 or 4 turns, so he drew a lot, and I didn't have any out to his board. I draw the heat wave only on the last turn where I already lost. So I lost that game. And the last round was against Nameku again. It was my teammate. And I won again because he saw the two cost spell, but I went to 4 energy. He did the two cost spell, and I went to 6. So I used my Ultra Instinct Goku and clear his board, so I won. Then the top 16, I faced another Piccolo. I got one game loss because they said my sleeves were markable. I don't know how,
Hmm.
but I managed to win both games. I don't know how. And the second game, where I went second, I didn't test Jiren because before this tournament. I literally used the Jiren. I decided to use Jiren 15 minutes before the Decklist check-in,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to use my marker to play Caulifla on T1 because I had the two Caulifla and so I said in my mind, now I use the first one on T1, and T2 I use another Caulifla, and it worked out. So and then the top eight, I faced another Piccolo, and this time I lost to zero. It was a very good player. I can do nothing. I don't know how I did win against the Piccolo I faced, but at that time I had zero hopes to play against Jiren, against Piccolo.
Mm-hmm. So overall, you would say that your hardest matchup with Jiren is Piccolo SH.
Yeah, Beast gone, and the Krillin completely shuts the deck because he can remove my forecast Jiren. And if even if I have two Jiren, he can clear one Jiren and then use three on the other Jiren. A Jiren in active mode does nothing. So I didn't have any chance.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that Piccolo SH is probably the hardest matchup. One, they're able to they themselves are a Jiren, if you want to think about it that way. Every single turn that they can redirect one attack over to another person,
Yeah,
meaning that
also
they
consider.
they basically just nullify an entire attack, which is kind of what Jiren does. You can nullify one entire attack per turn. And then yeah, the Krillin making your 4-drop Jiren not be able to attack next turn basically nullifies the Jiren effect. Now
Yeah.
it looks as though you win against an equivalent amount of Piccolo SHs and Nameku's. Um, and you didn't seem to have any tough matchups against the Nameku's. Why don't you think that? Primarily just because Nameku is able to put out a lot of swings every single turn. I mean, the leader itself can do two swings, a 20k and then a 30k swing, and then it also can generate a 25k drop that goes into a 40k on two different swings.
Yeah, maybe they didn't play very well against me because I test the only thing I test with Jiren against Nameku. If they do the Chico spell on my Jiren and then use Kami, sorry, the Guru
Hmm.
on the leader or the promo, they can attack up to 40k two times on my leader. So it's very easy to put my to put me at one life, and then I can use Jiren. But they didn't do that. I don't know why. My teammate said that he didn't have the guru, so it worked out for me. But the other matchup, I don't know why they didn't use the guru if they had been end.
Gotcha. Were they just focusing your battle cards instead of your leader then?
No, no, they always attack my leader, but without combo too much. Maybe only 25 or 35, not 40 or 45, maybe. They
Okay.
didn't put a lot of pressure.
Hmm. All right. Sounds good. So it seems as though you went against kind of like the run of the mill currently for the current meta. I mean, Namaku is going to be the top green deck at the given moment. Omega is probably the top blue deck at the moment. It is debatable on Omega or World Tournament Goku being the top blue deck at the given moment, especially here in the States. Not too sure what it's like over in the EU. There is a different meta comparatively. And then seeing that you lost against round 7 Goma, Yellow usually is
Yeah,
a fairly easy matchup for Jiren, mostly because Yellow requires items to be on board and have a lot of on KO effects. But Goma is also a very aggressive Yellow deck where it's able to spam out a ton of battle cards and restand them for dual attackers, if not a triple attacker, in some instances where it's able to pop off with their field 2 times in a row. And you said that they had Dr. Arinsu on the field that stayed for 3 turns, which led them to having a ton of card draw in their hand.
yeah,
So that one definitely makes sense on losing. Sorry to say, just because of the draw power. Now I want to take a closer look at your deck here. I myself, I would say that I've played Jiren quite a heavy amount since release of Jiren. However, I did move away from Jiren when Cell came out, just because Cell was able to put out a ton more bodies. And then I also saw that a 25k leader in the current meta, or even in the previous meta with Cell and Boo taking over, it was just very, very difficult to keep a 30k on board, a 4-drop no less, and then also force your opponent to combo out of a 25k lead swing. Um, but I don't see World Tournament, or not World Tournament, the Tournament of Power Arena. Is there a reason why
yeah.
you chose not to run that? Instead, it looks as though you teched in Heat Aura.
I didn't use the top arena because I think it was a pretty bad card going second because I didn't because maybe if they play a cheap cost Vegeta at Omega, at example, I didn't have any chance to remove his piece. Maybe if I play it, I can attack the Vegeta -5 and then attack even with the leader on the Vegeta, as example. Or maybe against Nameku, I play it to remove his one cost Piccolo so they can't chain into the four cost Piccolo if they had Nairi. Maybe it is a good card going first, but I think it's a very slow card. Cioè, it's not a very proactive card. I can't resolve any board, and I just pass on tissue. So I think it was not worth it to play it in the deck in a very fast meta because of Nameku, Giblet, and other decks.
All right. Yeah, I can totally agree that, going second with Tournament of Power Arena, it wasn't always the best to place it down, and it hurt drawing late game and not having it on board. It was definitely worse when you wanted to get some combo power in your hand. But with that, did Heat Aura come into play at all for you?
Honestly, never. Only
Never.
against the Goma. It will have been very useful, but I didn't draw it. So I, for the all the matchup, I didn't play it.
So for the most part, it was basically a card. The moment you saw it, you charged it. You got rid of it.
Yeah, against Piccolo it was useless. Against Nameku it was useless. Even against Omega. The only matchup where it was useful it was Roma, but I didn't say any copy, so nothing.
All right. So after that, just take me through your turn one, turn two plays that you would typically do. So turn one, you would probably want to mulligan down into having probably a draw one and hit in your hand, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm only gonna for one cost Piccolo or the Henry King, or against maybe Black Sharon, but I didn't face any Black Sharon. To mulligan for the Whis to remove his Bulma on TV1. I played the Whis only for that matchup
Only for that.
because if they play
Hmm.
because if they play the one cost Bulma, they maybe they need a blocker. I can do nothing to that on T1. So it was only for that and maybe for Nameku for the one cost Piccolo so they can chain into the four cost.
All right.
Then the second turn maybe I was looking for against Piccolo. I was looking out for critical little or
Mm-hmm.
maybe another two one cost draw because I wanted to stay alive, so I can block their attack with the one cost draw one card.
All right. So outside of that, it sounds as though both the six drop Jiren, the four drop Jiren, and the three cost Vegeta were your go to cards in the deck. Uh, Repeatedly, you stated that the six cost Jiren won you a couple of games. A combo of that with the three cost Vegeta, especially in your first Piccolo match where you went up to 9 energy, played the six drop, and then he redirected the attack, and then you played the three drop Vegeta for game. How
Yeah.
often would you say that you got the six drop Goku SCR out on field in all 10 of your games?
Um, Maybe versus Nameku, I didn't play too much Gokus, but against Omega and Piccolo, it was a game changer because with against Piccolo, I can clear all these Hercule, Krillin, Pan, and instead of going to face, I focused on the Beast Gone because I didn't want to give them any other cards in hand because if I go face, they simply take it for TK. They take it on they go to 3 or 2 life. But instead, if I go to the Beast Gone, they have to defend it. So they use a super combo or some other cards.
All right. Sounds good. So outside of that, this Jiren deck kind of looks like a very nice run of the mill Jiren deck. I said my piece on, asking why you don't have Tournament of Power Arena, but it makes sense. Going second, it definitely hurts. Is there anything else that you would like to bring up about your current Jiren build that you want to talk about?
Maybe maybe I would have changed the God Kamehameha also. I didn't use very often that card. Maybe one or two times. One time against Goma to clear his for cost Goma, and I think the third round against Piccolo, I did the six cost secret, and then I did the Kamehameha on the Beast God. But other than these cases, I didn't play the God Kamehameha. I usually charge it. For maybe Fuwa also, it was I played only it was only because it was a 10k combo, but I didn't play any Fuwa. Maybe one time or two against Omega to to clear his 5 cost Omega. And Kefla, it's not the same card. It was on the FB03. Usually I use the on combo or even charge. So I don't know what would I change on the deck.
Yeah, there's not really much I could say for changing Kefla or Fu out of the deck. I mean, they're both 10k combos, and they can set you up for doing a lot of other effects on board. I mean, the Kefla can help bring out the Sun Gohan Adolescence, or it could even bring out the Piccolo for a draw one, or it could bring out the Caulifla to add some pressure onto your opponent. Outside of that, the God Kamehameha, maybe you change that for the sphere attack, which is the one that blows up a 25k, and then if your opponent's at, I think, 3 or more life, you deal a damage to them.
Yeah, maybe I would change with that, but I didn't. I thought the black matchup it was very bad because if they played it for cost secret, I had to remove it. So I thought that the the cheap cost spell Kamehameha it will have been useful against the deck, but I didn't face any black deck, so that's okay.
Yeah. With the release of FBO8 Saiyan's Pride, do you think that Jiren is still a big contender in the red space, or do you think that the new Sun Gohan Adolescence, or even with the new Broly SCR, that Jiren just isn't going to be all that good?
I think in FB08, GN could be a very good deck instead of FB07 because Broly doesn't have any out to forecast Jiren. They can simply tap it, but I can still do the effect. And Gohan, I think it doesn't have any out to forecast Jiren. So I think these two decks can have a very hard matchup against Jiren. So I think FB08 can maybe it help Jiren better than FB07.
All right. Well, that's all the questions that I currently have. Did you want to talk about anything else?
No, I think I talked about everything I had to my Jiren list. Very simple list, nothing crazy.
All right. Well, again, Ryougi Shiki, thank you again for the interview today. And again, congrats on your top 8 finish in the EU Nationals. Does that get you into Worlds?
Unfortunately, no.
Unfortunately not. Man, so sorry about that. But again, congratulations on the top 8 win in the EU Nationals. And we hope to see you again next year at the EU Nationals, taking another top 8, if not top 4.
I hope so. Thank you.